Hey guys.
Hi. Sorry,
Hey everyone.
I'm not my best me today. I am my best me all the time. But I had some vocal technical difficulties right before pressing play today, and so I forgot to do a podcast, just like that.
But we're here anyway, and we're showing up because that's the kind of people
Oh
that
my
we are.
god, I keep fucking forgetting that people can see us. Hi. Just
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Hello. How are you? You guys, I think I need to say something before we get started.
Oh yes, today is a really big day. Today's really big. Okay.
Okay. So I know. So last week Reva had her moment in the sun with Sandy B, right?
I did, yeah.
And I respect the hustle of being a fan of someone because I am a fan first, human second.
Human second.
And today we're talking about One Direction.
Mhm.
If you can see me, I have a One Direction shirt on right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is vintage. It's from 2014.
I wish I had like a Sandra Bullock shirt. I wish I could have just like been and like a big poster in the back.
Sad. I have like 3 One Direction shirts left. I had so many, and I got rid of so many of them, and I'm sad. But I kept like the authentic tour merch. So if you can't see and you're only listening, I'm wearing a 2014 One Direction t-shirt from the Where We Are tour that I got at MetLife Stadium. So, hi.
I just burped a little bit. But anyway,
I just want everyone to know that I am going to be a feral human being in this episode, and I apologize, but I also don't. I
have emotionally prepared for this. I have sat down with myself and I said, Reva, today you are going to witness a Katie that you have only seen twice. And today, Lord would have it. Today is the day.
Already I'm having hard palpitations with you.
I can tell, ma'am. So today, as you have guessed from the description on the video or the description on the podcast, wherever you get them, we are talking about the one and only, if you could read Katie's shirt right now, it says One Direction. Yes, I have graciously let her have her moment.
She's such a great friend. She let me have my moment.
I am so Jennifer's. Jennifer's?
Jennifer Coolidge.
The podcast is over.
I'm
Good night.
Jennifer
Good night. The podcast is over. Good night.
It's okay. I'll take over and talk about One Direction for an hour. Don't worry.
And she said, and we're back. One Direction. Yeah.
That was weird.
That was suspicious. So tonight we are talking about One Direction. I would like to preface by saying I took notes.
So proud.
I know. It was a feat. But, I only got 2 years out of the 6 years they were a band because there were so many notes. I didn't have the time. I'm already at 2.5 pages. And I only covered 2 years.
I would love to know what you wrote down because I don't know how you managed that.
Girl.
But I did say to Reva before we started recording that One Direction really did have like a 20-year career packed into 6 years. They accomplished so much, made so much music, and went on so many tours that their 6 years is equivalent to another band's like 15.
15.
So it all works out.
They did what Daisy Jones and the Six failed to do, which was make consecutive albums, one after the other.
One after the other, after the other. And One Direction did do that.
And if y'all don't know what Daisy Jones and the Six is, please get into it. Like, I'm not, girl.
Read a fucking book. Read a book.
Read a book. Read. Okay?
Come on.
Sorry to anybody who's illiterate. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. But read.
Well, I mean, they're going to have to prepare because I bet you we're going to make an episode about it.
Oh, we're making an episode. I am not living on this earth another day without freaking talking about it, okay? Also, we will be making another Bridgerton episode whenever the fuck that wants to come out.
Whenever that comes out, just know that you will have our commentary.
Yes. Because
Just no.
I don't think we didn't do it. I mean, we took a year and a half long hiatus, so we didn't do season 2.
Listen,
So, but we're back,
we'll
and
get into it.
and we're here for the best season 3, which is obviously Penelope and Colin
And dirty, dirty Colin.
and dirty, raunchy, dirty
Y'all are ready? We
taxi
read the book.
driving,
The
taxi
two of
driving,
us read the
dirty,
book,
raunchy.
so we're feral, like feral
Feral.
over Colin.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, I started another Julia Quinn book today or yesterday.
Come
It's called
on,
Splendid.
reader.
I know, right?
Splendid.
It's called Splendid. Apparently,
Okay.
it was like one of the first books she's ever written. Like,
Oh.
she wrote it right
You'll have
after.
to keep me. You have to keep me posted.
Yeah, it's about like an
Keep
American
us
girl.
posted.
Yeah, it's about like an American girl and a British guy, Avi.
My dream.
You know, she's going right on script. Um, and they fall in love. And it's like a series. There's like 3 books. I totally forgot to tell you.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's that?
Right?
Well, maybe I'll get into it, and maybe there'll be a show.
If there's a show, I'm gonna go ape shit. I can't get into the grips of girl. Kate and Anthony still haven't let me go. Like I'm still.
Oh, I know.
Bored.
We're still fucked up about it.
I'm still fucked up about them. Like they haven't let me go. Like the moment they came on the screen, they capture me. And I can't get out of it. You know,
Listen,
I'm trying.
Anthony is very. He be doing that. It's a crime against women that Jonathan Bailey is gay.
It's a crime. It's homicide.
It's a crime against women.
Oh my God, he laid that woman down in that show. God.
In that fucking outdoor fucking garden.
Girl, when he ate punani and looked at her while eating it. Oh, damn. Wait,
we're already getting distracted.
Wait, yeah, what are we talking about today?
Because we're talking about One Direction,
One Direction,
and that's
right.
the only tangent I will give you.
Right. No, okay, that was the only one. Okay. Okay, let me just reel myself back in and give me a minute.
Okay.
One Direction, 16-year-olds. Okay, I'm here.
We're back. We're back.
16-year-olds. It really just calms down the, yeah.
I feel like we should just begin by, because, I don't know, maybe someone's listening to this and they don't know who One Direction are.
Yeah.
One Direction is a band, was a band, rest in peace.
They're
comprised
not
of 5. They're not dead. The band is dead.
Yeah, the band is dead, but they're not dead.
None of the members have died yet that we know of.
Tell me why to get out of my tangent, I was just like, 16-year-olds. I'm good.
We're here.
Yeah.
I'm still mentally 16, so
just like acne-ridden 16-year-olds, just great way to get you out of the mood, you know?
Oh, yeah. Really turns you off. In every way.
In every way. Yeah.
Yeah. But 5 members, Harry Styles, Niall Horan, Louis Tomlinson, Zayn Malik, and Liam Payne. Mm-hmm. This band, we need to start with the astrology because it's
kooky.
2 Capricorns, 2 Virgos, and an Aquarius.
And the Capricorn left first. What?
Because the Capricorn had anxiety, which I feel like makes sense.
Like, if we're just looking at astrology alone, I would have bet like money that Harry was going to leave first. Just looking at astrology. Like, not looking at the picture, not knowing the band. Just looking at the astrology and the lineup, I could have bet money that Harry was going to be the first one.
Yeah. Because he's the odd man out.
Oh, yeah.
And it, when you, like, because I didn't know shit about astrology back then, but, like, he was so the Aquarius. He was the charming, funny, silly, like, goofy one. Which I feel like is the Aquarius of the group. Oh, yeah. It was like Harry and then the other 4. I hate to say that, but like, because there really was no lead singer in One Direction. They all kind of shared that part. Yeah. But like, Harry had his own. Harry was like his own thing over there.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like.
Just vibing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Do you want to get into the brief history on how the band has started?
You can go into it because you have it written down.
I've got the notes. Thank you, Wikipedia, for your brief contribution. Even though I did not donate the $2 I should have. Anyway. Does anyone donate the $2?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so this I call or Wikipedia calls this period the X Factor period, and this was from 2010 to 2011. So they all auditioned as solo acts on the X Factor. It's like a British, like America's Got Talent, basically, or like American Idol.
We had X Factor in the U.S. for a little bit.
We
It
did,
didn't like Fifth Harmony was made on X Factor U.S.
yeah,
But it didn't last long here in the U.S.
no,
But it was pretty big in the U.K.
yeah,
And and they all auditioned separately.
yeah. Oh my god, my glasses are kind of crooked. Hold on, it's like. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, they all auditioned as solo acts, but they all failed to progress in the boys category at the boot camp stage of the competition.
Yep.
So they were instead put together to form a 5-piece boy band qualified for the groups category.
Yeah, and they were put together by Nicole Scherzinger.
Yes, I have a whole girl. So
you do play. You went to Yale.
I tried, and then I was like, I'm done. My hands can't work. So what happened was, we forgot to preface our famous preface. This is all alleged.
Oh no! Well, this part isn't alleged.
Oh, it's not.
This part's very factual.
I mean, it is, but just for lawyer purposes, it's all alleged. We are not real.
Allegedly,
we're a part of the AI system called the metaverse.
We are simply in the metaverse, and we can't help it. We have this access to this information
that someone randomly posted online. Okay.
Yeah.
This
so deal
is
with
all
it.
Alleged. Lawyers,
don't take it up with me.
Don't come to us. Don't kill the messengers. You can find this on Wikipedia. Go to them.
Period.
Anyway, now back to your regular schedule.
This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.
It's brought to you by the metaverse. Get your meta where you can. Okay, anyway. The metaverse. Okay. Why be here when you could be everywhere? You know,
Amen.
Amen. The metaverse. Why be here when you could be everywhere? Yeah. Yeah. So it was reported that Nicole Scherzinger. How do you spell her?
Scherzinger.
Scherzinger. Thank you. I'm a little. God. Fuck. Anyway. Moving on.
Not helping your cause.
I'm illiterate. Stop. Okay. Nicole Scherzinger and Simon Cowell have both claimed to have formed the group. In 2013, Simon Cowell went on the record and said it took him 10 minutes to put them together as a group. Now, however...
Okay, wait. But there's a video. Did you talk about the video?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I said, however, a never-before-seen video was released in 2022 that revealed that Scherzinger played the most significant role in forming the band. The video shows that Horan was the first contestant to be chosen to be in the band with Styles.
Not Horan.
Like it's the Horan? God, I can't. I will never be in the news. Anyway, Horan. Oh my damn! Horan. Okay.
like he's from the Middle East.
Like he just came out of the Quran. Like the Quran and Horan. That is feral. Anyway, and that was completely natural. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Yeah. So Horan was the first contestant to be chosen in the band with Styles, Tomlinson, Payne, and then Malik being added to complete the group. And it also is reported that Harry Styles was the one to come up with the name One Direction.
Yes, it is reported that is the case.
Yeah.
He did claim to come up with the name.
Yes. And it is reported and alleged that he came up with the name. Back to you.
Back to you, Steve.
Back to you, Steve. Did you get that wrong?
Are you actually passing it back to me, or do you have more to say?
No. I have more to say, but I want to give you a go.
Okay.
I just wanted to let everybody know that I really researched, and I really...
I'm so proud of you that you had all that written down.
Yes.
I'm so proud.
Snaps.
So yeah, they all, like, auditioned, like, as solo artists in that boot camp thing. They all had to do, like, they did, like, dancing auditions, and they did, like, singing auditions, and Zayn almost, like, bailed because he didn't want to do the dancing. If you haven't seen the videos of, like, 16-year-old Harry and, like, Zayn dancing, and it's so fucking bad and funny. God. It's worth the watch. It's hilarious.
Is it reported that? Is it reported? Am I a newscaster? Um, is it a thing that like Harry sung "Isn't She Lovely" when he as his first? Okay, because
He did.
yeah, I went and
Yeah.
found out. Isn't she lovely?
Honestly, in their auditions, they all sounded pretty bad,
Botched.
ex-
Yeah.
except for Liam. Liam actually had like a really beautiful voice. He sounded almost like Josh Groban. Like he was like very croony. He had like a really like a Michael Bublé kind of style like
Yeah.
voice. I mean, he
What
sounded great.
What is a
The
Josh
rest of them,
Groban song? What is a Josh Groban song? What one? All I can think of is Beaches. You're the wind beneath my wings.
why can't I think of a Josh Groban? Wait, why can't I think of a single one?
Me neither. Like
I don't know.
I don't know. The first thing that came to me was "You're the wind
Not
beneath."
Wind Beneath. He's probably sang a cover of it somewhere.
Somewhere, like somewhere.
Yeah.
That was like the
But
first thing that came to my mind.
so stupid. But Liam actually auditioned before, like when One Direction formed that year. He auditioned
Mhm.
like 2 years before that,
Mhm.
and made it I think really really far. Like maybe to like the judges' houses rounds. And Simon was like, "You need more practice. Go home, get better, and then come back." So he
Okay.
came back 2 years later,
Mhm.
and then they put him in One Direction.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um, but they officially became a band on July 23rd, 2010.
I did not have that
And
down.
that is a national fucking holiday. Everybody mark it on your goddamn calendar. Okay?
Girl, we said this in the
July
last.
23rd.
Oh my god, we should have like a special like holiday episode during those days.
It's like Christmas. Where we
It's
just talk
Christmas.
about
Or like, well, Sandra Bullock's the 26th, so it's just like that, and then that week we're just booked.
Imagine if we just had like our episode that week is just like everybody's birthday. One
Yeah.
Direction, Sandra Bullock, and any other celebrity who has a birthday that week, we'll just celebrate it that way.
It's the celebrity birthday.
Yeah.
We'll call it a PR birthday.
PR birthday. I love that.
PR birthday.
I'm down for that.
Yep.
What else? Okay. So during this time on the X Factor, One Direction made these little videos that are known across the fandom as the video diaries. I don't know if they're actually called that.
Mm.
But anyway, a lot of One Direction fandom inside jokes come from these
Mhm.
videos, and they're all sitting on this sketchy ass fucking staircase and just like answering fan questions and talking shit.
Yeah.
And when I was 14, I thought these videos were so funny, and it like that was the spark that lit the flame. You know what I'm saying? Those little videos, I was like, oh my god, they're so cute. I love them.
Not the spark that lit the flame that
Spark that lit the flame.
torched the town. Not the spark that lit the flame that torched the town.
It torched my town.
Home of one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on X Factor, at the end of it, they went really far and they placed third.
Yes. Oh wait, I got facts. Hold on, let me
She's got
unlock.
that.
I gotta unlock.
Cher Lloyd was also on this season of X Factor, and we all know Cher Lloyd. I want you back.
There we go. Thank you. I was like, I want you, man. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I always get Cher Lloyd and Carmen. If you're a homie, you know what Carmen is. And like, baby, call me baby.
Carmen had some fucking bangers.
Bops.
Bangers.
And now it's Queen Herbie, so shout out to Queen Herbie.
Ain't nothing hit like acapella hits.
Girl.
Used to be a baby, used to be a lady. Oh, that song hits different.
I was working from home, I think last week, and I put on Airplanes. I almost died.
Creeping in the airplane.
Yeah.
Shooting stars.
I could use a dream or a genie. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Simpler times.
Yeah. Also, keep talking. My computer is about to die. Keep talking.
Work.
Yeah. Period. Give me more facts.
Keep going. Oh, about One Direction and X Factor. I mean, I don't have a ton of other facts other than I will say, that whole Nicole Scherzinger thing. I was really shook to find out that she basically single-handedly put that whole video together.
I mean,
and then Liam had the audacity to say that he was like the first member to be chosen, or like the core member. It's like, no, actually Niall was picked first, so you can shut up now.
Well, and it's just like the same way she like saved the Pussycat Dolls from like ruin.
Yes.
Every single time. It's like Nicole's just coming through.
If anyone knows how to save a band, It's fucking Nicole Scherzinger. She is like on her shit. She could see the vision. Like looking at all their little pictures, she saw the vision, and she is basically responsible for ruining my life. So I'm gonna blame Nicole Scherzinger for everything that I'm about to say today. Um, you know what I will say is that while Reva's fixing her technical difficulty, is that I entered on the One Direction scene in like I want to say maybe I want to say maybe 2011 around this time. I was in eighth grade. What Makes You Beautiful had just come out,
What makes you better?
I just and this is I remember the moment that I fell in love, and it was I was I was driving home from church.
Oh God.
I was probably 12,
You gotta love church.
12, 13, something like that. I think
So,
12. 12. And driving home from church, and What Makes You Beautiful came on the radio, and I had never heard it before. And I heard the song, and I was like, this is the greatest song I've ever heard.
I liked it the first couple times, and then they just kept doing it like a.
Well, this was the first time I'd ever heard it. And then I went home, and because I saw, like, it was, like, What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction, and I was like, One Direction, I've never heard of them. I went home, Googled them, and then it was over. Literally Googled One Direction, and then I just watched every single video that existed on the internet.
I heard What Makes You Beautiful on the radio back when like this was like the last. I would say this is like like the dying days of the radio, like because I mean none of us had like or people had iPods and stuff, but like do you ever get, I mean me personally when I would get up in the morning when I was like 11 or 12 I'd put on the radio and it would be like the morning music and everything like that, and I really use the radio. Like I
only listen to the radio in the car, but we listen to the radio in the car.
I listened to it, or I didn't listen to it in the car because it was my mom. Like my mom used to take control of the car, and it'd be like, "Jesus loves me." I'm like, God, he doesn't love me right now. But like at my house, I used to have this like CD player / like radio player, basically. And I would just put it on every morning, and like even like at night after I finished my homework, I'd put on the radio. Like sometimes not even watch TV, just put on the radio.
I love that.
I know, like I listen to the radio. I listen to the hell out of it. And then I got a smartphone, and that was all over. Spotify came out, and I was like, I'm done. You know. But. So What Makes You Beautiful came out the first couple of times, and I used to jump around and like be like, beautiful, me beautiful, I can see. And then it just kept. It was like a person with short-term memory loss. They played it like it was the first time. I was like,
yeah, that song really ran the gambit on Top 40 radio.
Like they played it, like I say again, like someone who had never heard it before. In the girl, they were like at number 1 again, One Direction. I was like, bro, I can't. This is too much.
Yeah, What Makes You Beautiful came out. It's actually a good like segue from X Factor to like post X Factor.
Yes.
So like X Factor was like over and done in 2011. They they placed third. They signed with Simon's label. Psycho Records. I love that it's called Psycho, like Simon, like Simon Cowell, but then he's also a psycho.
You're right.
So it like really fits. So they signed with his record label and came out with What Makes You Beautiful, and honestly, it immediately went to number 1.
No, I wanted to ask you this because like I've got the facts. So so they won third place in the competition, and immediately after their song Forever Young, which was supposed to be released, they had one X Factor leaked on the internet.
Forever Young.
Yeah.
I remember. It was just a cover. People act like it was a cover of Forever Young. We all know it.
Yeah, come on.
We know it.
Mel Gibson, God. From that movie. Yeah. I've never seen the movie. I just know the Forever. I know he's in the movie Forever Young because I'm like, I wanna be forever every time I see the movie.
That's all it was. People act like it was an original song. It was a cover. It's on the internet. You can listen to it.
But socially afterward, it was confirmed that One Direction had been signed to Cowell to a reported $2 million contract.
A little baby contract.
That is, that they got robbed. That's robbery.
Well, because they were also like they were a little band. They were like just
Yeah.
starting out, and
Yeah.
they were like it didn't take them long to break out in the U.S. at all. But they were
Mhm.
like while they were on X Factor, like in the midst of them performing, the girlies in the UK were foaming at the
At the
mouth. Like
mouth.
while they were on X Factor, I have
Yeah.
never seen a contestant on a show that like garners that much like feral behavior
Yeah.
like while just on a fucking reality competition show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing ever.
Mhm.
But yeah, throughout One Direction's entire existence, the fandom notoriously hated their label and hated their management.
Yeah.
Like treated them like dogs. They were like, and they just wouldn't let them say anything or do
Mhm.
anything. It was very frustrating.
Mhm.
But yeah, they got fucking gypped. But they also made a boatload of cash, so I
Yeah.
think it worked out.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
a little
So
itty bitty baby record deal they got out of that.
that I saw that and I was like, that they got robbed, like
Yeah.
cold blood. Like that's robbery. Like, geez, that's they swindled them. But I mean, like, thank God they're like, they are what they are today. But like, still, that's robbery. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we come into 2011 into 2012. God, I can't fucking
Yeah.
speak.
That's okay.
The Up All Night era. This is their first album.
Yeah.
It released in September of 2011 in the UK and Ireland. One Direction's debut single, "What Makes You Beautiful," was a commercial and international success. It reached #1 on the UK singles charts after becoming the most pre-ordered Sony Music Entertainment single in history. Like,
Crazy.
when this fucking song came out, I swear to God, no, but not because we wanted to. It's because we literally did not listen to anything else. It was like I said again, it was on the radio every 5 minutes. Like you had heard it the first time. They're like, yet again, London. Yeah,
It was like they were trying to brainwash us. It was like that was the song they were using to
I'm
like
telling
Pavlov's dogs,
you,
like
yes.
get us like brainwashed.
And every time it was like, dun, 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 dun,
Da-da.
dun, dun. I was like, oh, holy
But
shit.
now, when I hear when I hear it play now out in
Yeah,
public, it still makes my heart like skip.
yeah.
When I hear it, I have a dun dun
Dun,
dun. I'm
dun,
like,
dun. Yeah, I'm
well
always
now
like,
Harry plays it at every show, so
oh, well,
we
did he
we
play it?
still
Did he play when we saw him?
yeah.
Oh.
We would block that out.
I'm telling you, it was like a mind block. Oh my God, did he like sing it? Or was it
Yeah.
just like,
It was like a hairified version of it. It wasn't like exactly
right,
like
right, right, right,
so it
right.
sounded a little different. But he
I
played
think,
it.
I mean, the piece I remember from that show was obviously Kiwi because I thought I was going to die. I thought the building was going to come down and we were just going to die and that was going to be it. And I was going to, and you know what? If we did die, so be it.
I was
Like,
like okay with it.
I was fine.
He's like, this is the greatest way to go.
Yeah. Greatest way to go.
It'd be very on brand for me.
It would not be on
So
brand for me. It wouldn't be off brand for me, but it'd be like, yeah, I saw this coming, you know?
I
Not
had
like,
it coming.
well, it's like I didn't see it coming, but yeah, I figured it'd probably be this way, you know?
I didn't want it, but I accept it.
But I accept it. It's not like I
Yeah.
did not want it, but I also didn't want it either. But I'm with my friends, so at
Yeah.
least we all die together. At least I don't have to
Oh, it's beautiful.
it got real
Well,
dark real fast.
as Harry says, if our friends all pass away, it's okay. That's what he said. They treat people with kindness.
He said that in the song.
In the song, he goes, "If our friends all pass away, it's okay."
When does he say that? It's like,
Like in the bridge.
like if our friends all pass
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Really?
That's the line.
Why is it always the most positive sounding music is like the most like depressing shit you've ever read? Like, what's that
I
song?
know.
Um, what's that song from Vance Joy that's like I love?
Is it Riptide?
Yeah, it's like yeah, baby, coming down the tide. Yeah, like that shit
I
is
fucking hate that
it's
song.
so depressing.
Yeah, it's really fucking sad.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it's about, but I can sewer
I don't know either,
slide
but if
trigger
you listen to the
warning.
words, it's like, this shit is sad.
And trigger warning, sewer slide's probably in it. Because
Honestly.
Riptide is not really. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Moving on. Moving on.
Yeah, so another fact is they made their first U.S. television appearance on the Today Show at the Rockefeller Rockefeller Center. An estimated 15,000 fans descended on the plaza. What Makes You Beautiful was officially released in the United States that same month, where it debuted on the Billboard Hot 100 at number 28 and becoming the highest debut for a British act since 1998.
Yeah.
I'm only guessing it's probably like like the Spice Girls or something.
Spice Girls or the Beatles.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, One Direction, I feel, like, it's a common theme amongst One Direction is that they broke every Beatles record. Like, if the Beatles had a record, One Direction broke it.
Broke it. Like it was nothing.
I think every other week you're hearing One Direction's more popular than the Beatles. One Direction beat this Beatles record. One Direction has more fans than the Beatles. Like, all of this shit.
Yeah.
Or One Direction are the new Beatles. People say that all the time. You can't even fucking compare the two.
No, you can't compare the two. And I always like to say there are more people on the earth now than there were when the Beatles were going. So, I mean.
And all the Beatles were ugly.
Wow. That's rough. Oh my. Oh.
Am I wrong?
I think something's got in my eye. Wow.
Are you going to sit there and tell me that I'm wrong?
I'm not gonna. No comment, Paul McCartney. I am so sorry.
I mean, I think Paul McCartney is very talented, but he no.
That's wild. I mean, I'm
you
not
think there are hot members of the Beatles?
I didn't say anything. People can look like what they look like.
I think you agree with me. You're just too scared to say it.
Yes. This is press.
I don't care. They're all going to die in about 5 years anyway.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. Wow. I'm first and foremost a Beatles hater. I don't like the Beatles. They have maybe 5 good songs.
Wow. Oh my God. These are some real, like, you're going in. What did the Beatles do to you, girl? Like, what did they
make mediocre music?
They said, "Hey, Jude," to you, and you got real offended.
No, actually, I don't hate Hey Jude. I like maybe 10 Beatles songs.
I only know 3 of them.
So what are you giving me shit for?
Hey, but like that's the thing. I only know 3, so I can't make an opinion off of the 3 Beatles songs that I might know.
Fine. They're fine. I respect the changes that they made and like the paths they've blazed, the trails they've blazed.
There you go. Is the Bee Gees the one who's just like more than a woman?
Yeah.
Okay, I like them.
That's the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees slay.
Yeah, more than a woman to me.
Yeah, but I also grew up with a father who was a B-52s fan, so I just have like shit taste in music. I think it's just like in my bones.
I mean, my mom is black, so Anita Baker was just up and down that house.
Do you know who the B-52s are?
No.
You need to know Love Shack. You know Love Shack, right?
Sing it for me.
Love Shack, baby.
Oh, I've heard of it. Okay. It was probably
my dad is obsessed with the B-52s.
It was probably in a season of American Horror Story. That's probably.
It probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that 80s season when they were like.
Yeah, I bet you they played Love Shack in there. Yeah. If it wasn't Love Shack, it was Rock Lobster. Also by the B-52s.
Oh my God! You know where I know them from? Trixie and Katya mentioned it in their podcast that Trixie went to go see one of their shows.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. And they were wearing go-go boots, and they were like 60 years old, and it was everything.
They're very 70s, like hippie, weird. Yeah.
I'd live for that.
But my dad also likes the Beatles. But my dad didn't like Elvis. I mean, what's wrong with you?
My mom doesn't like Elvis.
That's
I mean, well, it's not like she doesn't like him, but she tolerates, which is worse.
That is worse.
That's worse.
I'd rather you have an opinion,
Opinion?
or honestly, in my world, when it comes to celebrities like this, you either hate them with everything in your heart, or you're obsessed like me.
Right.
There's no middle.
No, right. Yeah, no middle. Yeah. Yeah, she tolerates Elvis.
But back to the subject at hand.
Right. One Direction. Right. One
Direction. Back to the subject at hand.
I'm trying so hard not to go off topic that we.
I know. But we are 34 minutes in and we're only on 2012, so.
Jesus. Anyway, okay. So, so their tour, the Up All Night tour, comprising of 62 shows. Oh my God, I can't fucking speak. Uh, 62 shows was met with positively, both critically and commercially, with critics praising their singing abilities and stage presence, and with tickets selling out in minutes. A recording of the concert from their tour Up All Night, the live tour, was released in May of 2012.
I have it.
I know you don't.
I attended this tour. I went to the December 3rd show at Madison Square Garden with the notorious Mr. X. Have I explained Mr. X to you?
No, he sounds like a horror film.
It was. Let me fucking tell you.
Jesus.
So, during this era, I'm just going to credit the One Direction fandom for, like, inventing stan Twitter and, like, fandom culture online.
Mm-hmm.
Like, One Direction was one of the first, like, the fandoms, one of the first really big fandoms to have this, like, crazy fucking online presence.
Mm-hmm.
And make fan Twitter accounts and fan Tumblr accounts and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when One Direction was scheduled to perform at Madison Square Garden, it was like a really, really big deal. They were like this new band, and they were already selling out Madison Square Garden. It was like a huge deal. Because before this, they opened up for Big Time Rush. Can you believe?
And where is Big Time Rush now? I mean, no, they're still,
well, now they're doing
one.
concerts, but they're like 40 and can't move like they used to. Anyway.
You know what? I can't move like I used to, so.
But their song slap. Looking for a boyfriend.
All married. I said, you ain't.
Yeah.
Girl. Yeah.
And was a Trump supporter. Regardless.
I love the way that people just like ignore
breathe
that.
over.
Breathe.
Like, no, we forget.
Oh my God, he was looking for a boyfriend. Yeah. Just completely
for real.
Over. Yeah.
So there was a person online, or like rumors about this person named Mr. X, who was going to basically assassinate One Direction.
Xavier from X-Men.
There was someone like threatening to like hurt One Direction while they were on stage at Madison Square Garden. It was like, and the fandom just took a hold of it, called this person Mr. X, and we were all terrified that we were all just going to witness murder. Like, we were going to literally witness One Direction get shot.
Xavier from X-Men is doing all this? Jesus.
So I was in the room and I was horrified because I was sitting there like, am I about to watch One Direction get shot?
Right.
Get got. I didn't. They didn't die, thank God. But that was a whole thing that happened. During this time. And yes, they made it into a movie, and the movie is iconic. This era, I feel like, is like represented, like during this era, the members of One Direction were wearing coordinated, preppy outfits.
Yes.
That were very weird. They were
really
like
bad.
Polos and stripes and chinos.
You know what I hated? When they would wear like sweaters, and then they would have like the polos under it, and then the tie, but the tie wouldn't go in the sweater, it'd go out.
Yeah.
And so when they would like run, the tie would just like, fling in the back.
Like flap in the wind.
Hated that.
Yeah, their outfits were very weird. But I can't remember what they were wearing, but I remember Liam had on, when I saw them in 2012, mind you, this was like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I just remember what Liam had on, and I think Harry just had a white t-shirt and jeans on. But Liam had on, like, they were wearing regular clothes. It was like jeans and like a t-shirt and like a flannel.
Yeah.
I was like, this is normal.
Yeah.
But then, like, in like the music videos, they had on crazy, like, Abercrombie outfits. They were wild.
And the helmet hair? God.
Oh, Liam and Harry had full on, like, just Lego pieces for hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a choice. But I thought they were hot. I really did.
I saw them and I was like, I had just watched Pride and Prejudice, and I was like, I'm sorry, I like men who are 40. But I would never sleep with one. But like, I was already in my period piece bag by the time. Yeah. Like I was listening to like Amy Winehouse on the reg, like, he left no time to, just like emo in the dark corner, like Paramore. How did we get here? Yeah. just on my bed, just listening.
Honestly, that's better. Like, you have better taste than I did. I
Girl.
like, it's fine, but like, I clung on to Harry immediately. Like when I Googled them that first time, I saw Harry, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, him.
No, honestly, looking back, I kind of wish I was in that phase because I think I was trying to not grow up too fast, but I was too emotional for my own good. Like now I'm like, God, I wish I was like just cool the fuck down and like what makes you beautiful? Like just calm the fuck down, Reva. Jeez.
Just be a child.
Just be a child.
And I was
Get
very
this
much a
dick
child.
wet with his safe, oh safe bit. Yeah, like just very emotional.
Very heavy.
Very
Very
heavy.
heavy.
Very heavy. And it just
Um,
didn't prove well. And I'm like, I wish I just would have like calmed the fuck down for a minute and just
well, you can always have your moment. You can go listen to One Direction now.
ugh. And all these little things slip. Yeah.
um, what else? I think that was all I had to say. Oh, they also One Direction. I feel like at least adults in my life gave them
Mhm.
shit because they didn't dance. One Direction
Yeah.
notoriously did not dance up until this point. We only knew boy bands that danced.
Yeah.
NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the Block. They all had like choreographed
Mhm.
fucking dance routines.
Right.
And One Direction, I shit you not, when they performed, they ran around the stage like hooligans.
Yeah.
Had no choreography.
No. They would do
Just walk.
backflips.
They were
The backflips.
the Jonas Brothers did a lot of backflips. One Direction just did a lot of jumping.
Oh
It was
really?
more just jumping.
I thought
Yeah,
they did a lot of
there was
flips.
no flipping.
Really? I thought they were the band with the flips.
Um, the Jonas Brothers did the backflipping.
Oh.
The Jonas Brothers were doing flips.
Like
Like
like gymnastics. Like
the
it's
Jonas Brothers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like they have they're a ninth of a point down and they have to get a perfect 10
yeah.
score to make it to the
I
final.
mean, literally, like,
Yeah.
but One Direction. I mean, Niall probably did the most choreo because none of them played instruments except for Niall. Niall played the guitar. Like while they were performing, I'm
Mhm.
sure the rest of them could play an instrument. It's just Niall
Mhm.
was the only one that was playing one, like on the
Mhm.
stage.
Mhm.
And he would do these like kicks and flips off of like the platforms and stuff.
Mhm.
The rest of them were just like in a silly, goofy mood,
Yeah. Silly goofy.
like throwing water at each other and doing little twirls. They were like,
It's interesting to me that like Harry Styles can he not still read music? I don't know if that's I know he that was a fact, but I don't know if he like
I'm not
is
too sure if that's
I
still
don't
a
know if
fact.
he's
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if he's like working on that or like if like that's
I don't
still a
know.
thing, if that's still true. But I find it interesting that he couldn't at one point. I don't know
Yeah,
now.
like, that's the thing with a lot of musicians. It just comes to them so naturally they don't like need to read music. It's kind
Well,
of
like
weird.
your ride or die, your coiffure, your soulmate, your ultimate twin flame, Elvis. You know.
Austin Butler's my twin flame. Elvis is just there like along for the ride. He's just there by association.
And you know what? And that's exactly where he wants to be, honestly. Like the girl.
But Elvis is hot. Elvis is hot. I would smash Elvis.
Yeah, but
Just putting it
I
out
don't think
there.
he could read music either. I think he was just like really good at the guitar.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like he'd be
Yeah.
strumming.
He was just freewheeling.
Yeah. And
He
I'm
was
a
just freewheeling.
hound dog. Yeah, just.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the early years were very wholesome
Mhm.
and cute, and I haven't watched that Up All Night movie in a really long time. I should go back and watch it because Louis does a cover of Valerie by Amy Winehouse.
Well, sometimes I go wild by myself. Yeah. And I look
and
across the
it's a very
water.
cute cover. It's a very cute
Aw,
cover.
that's nice. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep trying to open my tablet because it keeps like turning off.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, so you see me looking down. I'm trying to turn on my tablet, and she's like not. She was from Walmart for $123 because
Okay, period.
we are cheap. Anyway,
We're on a budget. Do you have more?
Oh yeah. So in April 2012, an American band that went by the same name filed a trademark infringement lawsuit. According to the lawsuit, the U.S. band had been using the name since 2009, recorded 2 albums, and filed an application to register the trademark name in the U.S. In February of 2011. The U.S. band said that they were entitled to 3 times the profits made by the U.K. band, as well as compensatory.
Compensatory?
There we go. Compensatory damages in excess of US $1 million. but the BBC reported in 2012 in September that the UK group had won the legal dispute over the right to keep using the band name, and the US band name changed its name to Uncharted Shores. And that's definitely how their records went. And it's very fitting because that's exactly how their records went right after the infringement.
Yeah, I was like, girl, I love when people that like have no career try to see really famous people. It's like, you're dumb.
You're
like,
dumb punk, yeah.
It's like, well, we're One Direction. It's like, well, nobody's heard of you.
Girl, we better be careful. They might, Uncharted Shores might come out for us and just obliterate us and be like, we were called Off Topic Birth. And I'm like,
Wait, are they on Spotify? I'm gonna check.
Oh my God, are they? Can you check for me? Yeah.
Uncharted Shores.
And that's exactly how their sales went right after. So the name is fitting.
Oh my God.
There
is a band called Uncharted Shores on here.
How many listens do they have? Like, how many listeners monthly?
Girl, 220 monthly listeners. It's the Sahara Desert out here.
That's exactly how their records went. Yeah.
Bad.
You know, the name fits the history. You know.
Yeah. It's fitting.
Or the future, or now for us the past. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was my last fact before I had to call it a day. I couldn't do it.
That's all you got?
That's all I got. So from here on out, we're going in blind.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Support us. Get us out. Yeah.
So, it's actually a very nice transition because, so One Direction's first album, Up All Night, came out in, 2011, in November. Mm-hmm. In November of the next year, 2012, their sophomore album, Take Me Home, was released. Mm-hmm. And this album, like, really, she said, like Homegirl skyrocketed. This album really sent me. Yeah. Songs on this album, there's so many good ones. Is
this the one with Little Things, or am I like hallucinating, or was that All Night?
Little Things might be.
Wait, I have Spotify on here. Hold on.
Midnight.
Oh, hold on.
Why am I forgetting? I'm really bad.
And you're the fan. Hold on, I got my Spotify on here. I got you.
That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. Well, no, you know what was embarrassing? We did the whole Saints Republic episode, and you were the one with the actual facts, and I was just like, oh my God, I didn't know that. It's like, God.
Wait a minute.
Let's see.
No, Take Me Home had, the lead single, I think, was Live While We're Young, Kiss You. Little Things was on Take Me Home, because it wasn't on Midnight Memories.
Right.
Little Things, oh my God, Rock Me.
Rock
a lot of
me, Mama,
I wish it was that.
Hey, Mama, rock me. Yeah.
A lot of their songs are about sex, and a lot of them are also very graphically about sex, and we just never noticed.
It's just, yeah, because it's like Up All Night, Take Me Home, Midnight Memories. What are you doing at midnight other than sleeping?
Meet Me at Midnight. Yeah.
Meet Me at Midnight. Lavender Haze. Yeah.
What other songs are on here? Oh, She's Not Afraid, which is one of my favorite One Direction songs of all time.
Oh.
Summer Love, They Don't Know About Us. Lots of really smashing songs on here.
Mm-hmm.
This is also, in December 2012, we find out that Taylor Swift and Harry Styles are dating. So this is all happening at the same time. You see, like, Take Me Home came out. I saw One Direction at Madison Square Garden. And Harry Styles and Taylor Swift are dating. All happening at the same time.
And then I don't know when 1989 came out, but that came out in like what, 2014? I don't know, but just let's say like a long time, not a long time, but like a couple years after this period. And I remember when Style came out.
Well, and girl, she in the bridge she says, "Take me home."
Take me home.
Hello.
And no, I remember this distinctly because I remember when Taylor Swift first made the change from country to pop, and I was very, very disappointed. I was like, extremely. Yes, I was a little bitch about it. I was very disappointed, and I like didn't listen to Red. I was like, I don't want to listen to that girl. Yeah, I was very disappointed. Yeah.
Not listening to Red is a hate crime.
Okay, well, obviously we rendered that. And now I can't get the bitch off my Spotify because she's everywhere.
I know, but just like, Oh, the way that I experienced Red in high school like changed my life. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I
go
did
on.
listen to Red. Unless like like the songs that were singles and came out on the radio, I would listen to. But
Which were a fuck ton of them.
yeah, like a
I
shit
knew
ton.
you were trouble. 22. Never came back together. Blah blah blah.
You want to keep going? Now you mean like a like a human record? You said 1998. Just to use. It's like you got it.
Keep going.
Keep going. Okay. Damn, girl, you're a human record. Fuck.
I'm literally an encyclopedia.
Wikipedia is like running for the hill right now. She's got competition. She's got steep competition. It's all a thing.
Yeah.
I'm the knockin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I remember, and I didn't listen to 1989 too much either. But I remember when I heard Style for the first time. Whoever produced that track, God bless you. I hope your pillow is.
Was it Jack Antonoff? Hold on. Let me check.
I think it was. I hope his pillow is cold and just
That was
beautiful every night.
I think 1989 was the first album that her and Jack Antonoff worked on together.
I mean, Style was just like it, like rocked my
It's
shit.
a perfect song. It's a perfect song.
And it was just such a headbanger. And then, especially if you listen to the song, with like earphones and you can hear the bass, like the dun 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 dun. God damn! And you could tell with that album something changed. Like
a switch fucking flipped.
Like she's using bass.
Yeah.
Like the bitch is girl. And
producers of Style, Max Martin, who's like a really famous producer.
Yeah.
He produced a lot of shit. Shellback and Ali Piami. Taylor worked with Max Martin and Shellback for like quite a bit. I think.
I hope their pillows are cold every day. Like I hope they wake up and there's coffee right by their bed, just there.
It's the perfect song. 1989 has a lot of perfect songs.
It was the perfect song. That bass in the back was like da da da, and then you could just. And you knew, like it's one of those songs where it's like, yeah, what makes you beautiful? You know it as soon as it like comes on.
Yes.
And so, you just, and it's like it has like such an airy and very like mystical. It kind of reminds me of like Lavender Haze, where it's like a very just like wispy, magical vibe to it.
Yeah.
Even though it's talking about,
it has like a breezy feel.
A breezy feel, like you could put it on and you're she's talking about being in love with someone that might not be very good for her, but like. She's so in love that you're in love, Yeah,
you feel what she's feeling in that moment.
Yes, and so
she takes you there. She takes you there, like mentally.
And it's it's really one of the best songs she's ever done. And to find out that it's about Harry Styles, it's like, what the hell did he do for her to come out? Like, what did he do?
There's that iconic video of them kissing on When the Ball Drops in New York.
Oh God.
It's a great video because. First of all, their age gap is very weird. Like, he was a very weird choice for her.
Yes.
Like, he was a lot younger than her. Not a lot, but like 5 years younger than her.
Yeah, 5 years. 5 years.
He was, I think, 18.
Yes.
And she was 22, 23.
And I think you've said this before, but I just I couldn't do that. I couldn't like men who are like 30 and they date 18-year-olds, like where do you go mentally to do that?
Well, I mean, he was 18, but she wasn't that much older.
No, I'm not saying that, but like no, I'm not saying that, but like people who like do the as an example, apart from this conversation, like when people do the big age gaps, like I can't even imagine. Yeah, like I can't imagine it because it's like I'm already
You're not
in this
even
place.
in the same mental space at all.
So how are you doing that? I mean,
it's,
in that situation, it was quite easier for her because she was, 25, he was 18, so there's a little bit of closeness.
23. She was not 25. She was 22. She was 22, 23.
So she was, so it was a 5 year.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah. Not 7 years.
Girl,
I can't do math.
You just said she was 25. I was like,
no. Yeah, I can't do math. Anyway, sorry. 23.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like, I don't know if I could do that. Like, I'm 23, and I'm just not there at 18. I'm just not there. Like that's.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, they didn't last very long.
I don't know them personally, but for me, there was a big shift that happened between 18 to 23. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, they're in the same industry. I think they can relate to each other, and they were also two of the biggest stars in the world at the time. So.
And I mean, you don't really have a normal childhood after becoming famous, so.
you don't have a normal life. I feel like
No.
that's why famous people date other famous people because they
Yeah.
relate to each
Yeah.
other. But I remember when they were spotted, One Direction had a hairstylist named Lou Teasdale. I still remember her name. I
Oh
hate that
my
I know
god.
that. And she did their hair for everything, every show, everything. And she had a daughter named Lux.
Mhm.
And Lux was like the One Direction fandom mascot. We were like Lux stans. We were like, we stand this baby.
Right.
And I remember the pictures, one of the first pictures of Harry and Taylor together were them taking Lux to like the zoo or something.
Oh, the
Like
baby?
yes, that's
Oh,
who
the
that baby is.
baby. Oh, I
That's who that
remember
baby is.
that. Yes, that
Yeah,
baby. Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah. We were like, they took a baby out together. Like that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So that was crazy. And 2012, like end of 2012, beginning of 2013, I feel like One Direction was already really, really big, but I think this, like, there was like we
A shift.
excelled, we ascended to like a new place of famous,
Yeah.
and like to the point where it was like you everywhere you went. I'm
Mhm.
not even exaggerating.
No, yeah, it was everywhere.
You saw or heard One Direction somewhere,
Yeah.
like everywhere,
Yeah.
which was good for me, but not for other people.
It was like
Um,
it felt like wartime, you know? It felt like
we were in the trenches. We were in the
we were in the
trenches.
trenches. It sounded like Big Pharma or, Big Brother, one of their like propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Um, so for the Take Me Home album,
Mhm.
One Direction won their first Brit Award, which is like a big award in the UK.
Right, right, right.
Um, One Direction did not win any Grammys, which I think is fucking bullshit.
One Direction didn't win any Grammys, which is fucking piece of shit.
I'm not surprised about that at all, but still, I mean,
Girl.
give them their fucking flowers. Just give them their flowers.
Give me their fucking flowers right now. Oh my god, Frankie, give me some fucking snaps, please. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
they won no Grammys, but they won a lot of Brits and a lot of like VMAs and shit.
Right, right, right.
If there was a fan voted award and One Direction was in that category, One Direction was winning. There was no anything about it.
There was no any kind of like like the People's Choice
Yeah,
Awards, they were probably sweeping those.
sweeping. They were sweeping.
A sweeping.
What else happened during this time? Oh, this is when they launched their dolls, and this was One Direction dolls were like, girl,
They were
nothing,
insane.
nothing makes me angrier than the fact that I can't find my Harry Styles doll because I fucking had one and I don't know where it is.
That
You
is
don't even
insane.
know if I had it. I would take it everywhere with me as a joke.
Just put it in your
I would,
pocket. Put it in your
yeah.
purse. Yeah.
I put it in my purse and his head would be sticking out.
Yeah, like it's a rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I don't know where it is.
Like
I
it's
probably
your
got rid of it.
like it's your good luck charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I used to have one. I had a Harry one, and I had another. I think I might have had a Niall one too, because they were my two favorites.
Girl.
I liked Niall because he was from Ireland, so I feel like he was different. You know. No, it's really sad. I could literally name all their hometowns. I won't.
Not his being Irish, being exotic. Like that's your exotic. He's
Well,
Irish.
that's my motherland. That's
Yeah, that's your that's
I
your
feel like he's my cousin.
he's
my
like
cousin.
he's from the O'Reilly clan. Yeah.
That's a fucking fist. Ally.
He's from the ally. Yeah, he's from the O'Reilly clan. I just made up a name. That was so racist, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, Irish people.
It's not.
I
But
deeply
anyway.
respect your culture, God, and your cerulean language. I don't. I just.
Cerulean.
Yeah.
That's a shade of blue.
Yeah.
What were you trying to say?
I don't know. It just. I don't know why the word cerulean sounds alien to me. So I would say it with like anything alien, like cerulean.
Well, the language is Gaelic, so you can remember that.
Well, yeah. So like, I knew I don't know why, but I equate the word cerulean to like an alienistic like word. So I know their language is Gaelic, but like it
Okay.
sounds alien. So instead of saying alien, I said cerulean.
I'm gonna pretend to follow.
That's just the way that my brain is wired because I'm weird.
Me too.
Also, like I mean, like if you think about it, the word cerulean, that is the most alien like word
It is
I've
a
ever heard.
weird word, and
It's a
it's
weird
spelled
word.
weird.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird word.
And like there was something in my brain that just like kind of like popped off when I heard Meryl Streep say it for the first time in Devil Wears
Yes,
Prada. She was just
Devil
like
Wears Prada.
cerulean, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, at like 8
You
years old.
never, when you were like coloring with crayons and you had the cerulean crayon, you never were like, what word is that?
No, I just thought it was blue, and I never had a cerulean crayon. It was just like indigo
Oh.
or a blue.
Maybe cerulean was in like the big box.
Yeah, girl, we were on.
Or, I mean, Catholic school, we had like every classroom had a big box like this big of crayons just all thrown in
Oh,
like
just like
random.
random ones, yeah, and they were
Yeah.
all like drawn on. I used to hate when the little kids would draw on the crayon. I hated
And
that.
I would always look at the word cerulean and just assume that that was the word blue in a different language. But it's not.
That's a good. Oh, it's not.
It's not. It's just a shade of blue.
It's a shade of blue. God. See, it's just so weird. It's just such a weird word. So it's alien to me.
I understand now. I'm following.
Like, can you imagine? Like, oh, we got invaded by the ceruleans.
You know what? That'd be a good fantasy
I'm
novel.
telling you. Come on.
I get you. I get you. I'm
Oh
there.
my God, the Navi people. No, I'm not gonna do that. Sorry, that was about to be a very racist comment to the Navi
Well,
people.
I mean, they are cerulean in color.
They are. Could you imagine just calling them the ceruleans instead of the Navi?
I mean, you're just saying a fact. Like you're just
I
stating, oh,
know.
like those people are cerulean. You're like, you're right. Yeah, they
But
are.
that also is like it's kind of racist, you know, because it's like like with Native Americans and I'm not gonna a certain color of skin.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what it kind of like could be.
Yeah.
But the Navi are not real, so it's like
Exactly. You can't be racist for something that's not real.
you. I feel like you can. I don't know. I just don't want to
Well,
offend anyone.
it depends on the intent. You know what I mean?
I guess
Like your delivery.
you.
Let's just cut it there before you offend some non-existent race.
Where did this conversation go?
We're
Anyway,
already an hour in and we're not even like halfway done. So like we need to fucking motorize this
motor,
shit.
motor, yeah. Oh, not motor, motor.
Motor,
Oh my
motor,
God, no!
motor.
God, stop.
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna take us into 2013. 2013. Okay.
2013.
So in 2013, One Direction does the Take Me Home tour. So
Right.
the album comes out in 2012. They toured in 2013.
Mhm.
They did arenas for this tour, similar to
Mhm.
the Up All Night tour.
Mhm.
Well, Up All Night might have been like smaller theaters. Take Me Home tour was arenas. I saw them at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Work. I've been to every tour, so get ready.
Take me
I forgot
home.
to mention. I forgot to mention that when I saw them at Madison Square Garden in 2012, Ed Sheeran opened. That's how crazy that shit was.
Yo, do you remember Ed Sheeran with the A Team?
Girl, that and I was obsessed with Ed Sheeran at the same time.
Oh, no. Wait, I think Ed Sheeran for me was like One Direction. Like I was obsessed with Ed Sheeran, especially what was that? What was his album? Was it Multiply? No.
Plus,
Plus. Plus took me out. Give me love, girl.
and when Ed Sheeran came out, I spit. I was literally choked on my water that I was drinking, and then I stood up and I was like, "No fucking
Fucking
way!"
way,
And then he just started playing his little fucking guitar, going,
dude.
"White lips, pale face."
Oh my God. And you remember the music video for that? It was like a homeless girl, and
Yes.
she looks so. You know that story like the Patchwork Girl. It's like a little like
Yeah.
it's an old nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
So when I was like 4 or 5, I had my tonsils taken out. You well know.
Me too.
And I did such a good job apparently that they gave me like there were different gifts that they give each child going through like a surgery or something. And so
Yeah.
I had a choice between a book and a doll. The doll looks real ugly, so I was like, I'm gonna get the book. And everyone's like, oh my God, she's so smart. She chose the book. No, it was just the doll was fucking ugly, and I just
The doll was botched.
the doll was botched. But I still have that book. It's actually at my mom's house, and I remember reading the Patchwork Girl. It's like a book of nursery or like a book of fairy tales. Like it has like the Beauty and the Beast, like Rumpelstiltskin, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so it has the Patchwork Girl, in the book. And I remember getting to the end of the story, and she dies and goes to heaven with some random ass angel, and I was like, 6 years old, I was done. I was like, you gotta be
Yeah.
kidding me.
Fucking sad.
And I remember, like, listening to the 18 for the first time and being instantly reverted back to that trauma-inducing time. And it was, and I was like, this is just the Password Girl as a song. And you just
Yeah.
add drugs to it, and it's just worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Sorry,
is, yeah.
that was a long way to get to where we got, but sorry. I needed
That's
to go
okay.
there. Yeah.
That's okay.
It was only like a minute and a half, so.
But yeah, Ed Sheeran opened for One Direction. That's how like long ago it was.
Yeah.
Like Ed Sheeran was opening.
Opening.
And yeah, that shit fucking blew my brain off.
Blew my mind.
But anyway, so when I saw them in Wells Fargo in 2013, I
Mhm.
think 5 Seconds of Summer opened. I could be totally wrong about that, but I think it's 5 Seconds of Summer. If I'm wrong, someone tell me that, please. Thank you.
Right.
And then also in 2013, the iconic film This Is Us was released. And this is going to be my... Actually, I have 2 show and tells right now. So in 2013, the This Is Us film was released, and it was like them performing, but also like behind the scenes what it's like to be in One Direction, you know? It's very much like day in my life energy.
I would like to preface that everything in my life is dying. Not my family or friends, but just technology-wise. So I'm going to plug in my phone while you're talking. Keep talking.
Jesus Christ. But for the people at home who are watching this on YouTube,
and who's fully prepared to like have their shit charged and not me.
This is my ticket stub from when I saw This Is Us. On August 29th, 2013, I still have it. Here it is. I saw it at my local Regal, and I have the ticket stub, and here it is. Behold.
That is so old.
This is from 2013. This is 10 years old, this movie ticket. This movie stub is 10 years old, can you believe?
That is insane. Well, I
still have it.
I still have our ticket stubs from Once on This Island, so that's like about 4 or 5 years old now.
Love that.
Yeah.
It's cute to keep stuff like that. I like keeping stuff.
I know, right? I wanted to like make a scrapbook.
I used to do that and get back into it. And then also in 2013, One Direction released their first perfume called Our Moment, which I bought and had. Unfortunately, I used it all and I threw the bottle away like a fucking dunce.
You threw the moment away.
But I kept the box and here it is.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Harry's face. I'm dying. God, that swoop. Do you all see the swoop? I can't even
look at it.
Behold. This swoop has me illiterate. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I have this box that the perfume came in.
I mean, it looks like it literally came out of the 50s. Like, if they just had, like, 50s... I mean, like, Liam is already, like, giving me very much 50s hair. Or not Liam.
This one, Liam had his buzz cut. Liam had a buzz cut.
Who's the guy on the top left?
Him?
Yeah.
Louis.
Damn. I always get them mixed up. Louis looks like he's literally straight... He looks like fucking Frank Sinatra or something like that.
He does look like Frank Sinatra, actually.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, he's giving me like a...
But look how brooding Zane looks in the corner. So, I have this still. And then another relic from 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is when One Direction, like I said, really just kind of like blew the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 Teen Vogue magazines. This one is from January. Zayn on the cover. Slay.
Oh my god.
And there's a whole spread on the inside. And they look very cute. Oh my god, look at Harry.
Jeez.
I'm dead. He looks so cute.
He looks so young.
Because he was like 18.
He does not look 18. He looks like he's 12 in that.
Yeah, he looks so cute. And then I have another Teen Vogue. This is from September 2013 of all of them. Can you see?
Harry looks like he's literally 12 years old. I can't.
They're so cute, and I kept these because I just simply can't get rid of them. I got rid of a lot. When I tell you I kept every J14 and Tiger Beat with their faces on it, I'm not kidding.
Oh my god.
Not anymore. I had to give that shit up. Ooh, there's a centerfold. I'll look at this later. Anyway. All of that is from 2013.
She said I'll look through it later.
When One Direction was everywhere. And this was also around the era where my room was covered floor to ceiling in posters. You couldn't see my walls.
Jeez. Like all the walls?
Every wall, you could not tell my walls were blue, right? Like I have like really bright blue walls in my room.
Yeah.
You couldn't see any blue.
The amount of money that you put into that, I can't even imagine.
And they went halfway up the ceiling.
I couldn't even imagine the money that you put into that.
I made wallpaper.
You literally, yeah, you made wallpaper.
Well, because the posters that I had, it was One Direction,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had like several group posters, and then I
Mm-hmm.
also had like little individual ones of just them.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also watching Pretty Little Liars at the time. So I had posters of like Ian Harding, who played
Mm-hmm.
Ezra, and like
Mm-hmm.
the guy that played Toby.
Mm-hmm.
I had like there's a mix of, and some Ed Sheeran in there. I had a mix of, I didn't think Ed Sheeran was hot, but I was like into Ed Sheeran, so I was like,
right.
I'll put him up there.
I think you were doing teenagerhood right. You were doing it right. Like
I was doing something.
I was watching Anna Green Gables and Pride and Prejudice, and I was listening to Amy Winehouse, and I was just emo, so emo for no reason.
I was emo too, but for a different thing.
Also, I was like poor. I mean, not like poor, but poor. And so I couldn't like, instead of like pictures and posters on my wall, it was like plaques of like my diploma or like.
Yeah,
like
but that's like
shit.
nice.
I was such a nerd. It was so disgusting. I have this like weird offhanded photo of my wall, what it used to look like, and it was just bad. It was just bad.
It's okay. We all have different things that we have.
Yeah, but
what? Okay.
we might have to make this. We might have to make this a part 2.
Fuck. Should I just speed through it? Should I just say fuck it and just speed through?
No, I want you to like really have this wholeheartedly. So
Okay.
we might have to make this a part 2.
Should we just keep recording and separate this one long thing into 2 short things, or should we stop?
Girl, it's like 7. It's my bedtime. I'm 75. Okay, jeez. God.
You're gonna stop me in the middle of me going?
No. But
Yes, you are.
No.
No, I can speed through it. I can speed through it.
Are you sure? Because I really want you to have your moment.
Yeah, but I don't want to stop.
But it's also like 6 years, which is like the equivalent of 15 years for a normal man of history that we're going through.
Yeah, but I didn't write the notes that you did.
Oh, okay.
We just keep going on tangents.
Okay, focus. Got it.
Okay. So I want to show you one more thing. This is my last show and tell piece.
Right.
So, in addition to my posters, I also fancied myself an artiste.
Okay.
I would, you know how I do like hand lettering now, like calligraphy?
Yes.
This was my 2012 version of that, except it was way cringier. And I made like hundreds of these, and I need to show you this one. I would wait, I can do it. Wait, okay.
I think I'm coding.
I would
Oh, God.
like write the lyrics to songs, but in like a cute little fun way.
I don't even know. What does it look like?
Wait.
Just show me.
Just
Show me. What's the band enough?
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Oh, that's not.
These are lyrics from Tell Me a Lie by One Direction, and I thought that I was an artiste.
You know, the thing that's getting me the most is the blackout, like, screwed up.
Girl, I thought I was fucking Van Gogh. You couldn't tell me nothing. In the Louvre. Oh, it's blurry as fuck on the thing, but you get it.
The screwed up mess. I'm passing out.
I have hundreds of these. I have so many. I even had an Instagram account for this, and it still exists. So if anybody wants to go find it, you can go find it.
The screwed up mess blacked out, like, message box, that message bubble is killing me.
I made an Instagram account where I just posted these.
Oh my God.
And it exists if you want to go find it. Any users.
Oh my God.
So that's also a relic.
That's
And my whole, and I
amazing.
also, when I took all the posters down,
Right.
because eventually I was like, I've had it.
Yeah.
I've made hundreds of these and put them on my wall.
Oh my God.
It was bad. So yeah,
That is amazing.
thank you.
When you like when you say calligraphy, talent starts from somewhere. Talent starts from failure. Or not failure. God, I'm not saying your thing is a failure, but it starts from a rocky place. Let's say that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, oh God, we're gonna see the rocky place. We're gonna see the
Yeah,
rocky
this
place.
is the rocky place. I also used to do my A's. Can you see how I used to do my A's?
Is it the? Oh God, that shit where you do the thing and then you do the. Do you know how many times I would? Do you know how many hours I would try to perfect that A and I never got it right?
I
It
did
was.
it for years.
It's disgusting. I try to do it so much because like
In
all the
middle
other girls.
school.
Yes, in middle school because all the other girls knew how to do it, and this is all like always my faux pas is like when you write so hard the page starts to curl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was my faux pas. Like I could never get it because I was so frustrated, and I was writing so hard that the page would curl. So like
Damn.
I would turn in like assignments and they would just be rolled up, just
Like a
completely
fucking scroll, like the
like a
Declaration
scroll.
of
Yeah.
Independence.
And my teacher's
Yeah.
like, "Why is your page roll up?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then she saw me writing one day and she was like, "You're gonna puncture the fucking page." And I was like,
God
"Shit,
damn.
I'm just trying to be literate, Sharon. Okay, God,
Let me live.
I'm trying to get my education, education connection, right,
For free.
for free."
Okay.
Mhm.
So moving on.
Yes.
In 2013, also the end of 2013,
Mhm.
One Direction released their third album, Midnight Memories, which is very like rocky. It's very like rock
Mhm.
heavy, a little
Mhm.
bit less pop, more rock,
Mhm.
if you know what I mean. This album went to #1 in the US and the UK,
Mhm.
Slay,
Mhm.
and it was the fastest selling album of that year, even though it came out in like the last month of the year.
Yeah.
So put that shit in fucking perspective.
Right.
Other 2013 highlights. In 2013, One Direction did their very infamous cover of One Way or Another by Blondie for Red Nose Day
Yeah.
in the UK. That
Mhm.
cover is still iconic. It's the only reason I know all the words to that song is because One Direction covered it.
Mhm.
One Direction also covered Teenage Dirtbag, which is another great cover that they did.
Mhm.
Only reason I know that song.
Mhm.
They also got their Madame Tussauds figures in 2013. So they got their wax figures made, and they looked
Yeah.
hilariously bad. They were
Maybe,
bad, and
maybe the wax was melting.
Liam specifically became a meme for like a good couple months because it looked terrible. It
Well,
was like it was bad. In 2014, I'm just gonna breeze through. We're almost there.
oh, okay.
2014, they did the Where We Are tour, which was the tour for Midnight Memories.
Right.
5 Seconds of Summer opened for them
Mhm.
on this tour as well. I think that 5 Seconds of Summer opened for both of those tours, the
Mhm.
Take Me Home and Where We Are, but I could be
Mhm.
wrong.
Mhm.
Um, also went to this tour. I went to their, I think it was MetLife Stadium, and I think I went twice.
Mm.
This was the year I think that I went. They had a show on August 4th and 5th at MetLife Stadium, and I went to both. What was I doing?
Spending money.
I mean, I sat in the goddamn ether. The
With
first night, I sat in the ether, and
you
then on the
sat
second night, I was a little closer.
you sat on Mount Olympus. That's where you sat.
Literally, I was
Yeah.
sitting in the clouds, basically.
You were just sitting on Hera's lap, basically.
It was so far up. It
Yeah.
was not the move.
Yeah.
2014 was also the year of that video of Louis and Zayn smoking weed got leaked,
Oh my God. Yes.
which shook everybody up. We were like,
Well,
whoa.
that was just like it was also like it was a couple of years after Miley Cyrus did it. It was a
Yes.
couple. By this time Miley Cyrus, she was just like God, what's that song? We can't stop, we won't stop.
Yeah, she was in her bangers era.
She was in her bangers era. She was in her black appropriation era.
Yeah.
Um,
Like Will made
literally. And but that yeah, so it was a couple years after that whole sativa thing, and I remember when hers came out, and it was like my whole world crashed in front of my eyes. I was like,
Yeah.
Hold Down, Throw Down was all a lie. It was a lie.
She is not popping, locking, or polka dotting.
Oh, she's popping and locking it, but she's smoking it as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
The reaction to this video was very interesting. So I think, like, we were supposed to be upset, but we weren't. We were just like, okay.
Yeah.
But all of the kids' parents were like,
Mhm.
oh, these boys are like bad influences or whatever.
Right, right, right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
In 2014, also their fourth album came out, and it was very cleverly called Four.
Yes, because someone had left.
Because, well, no,
No?
no, not yet.
Really? I thought it was because he left.
No, it's because it's their fourth album.
Oh, wow. I don't know my history at all. I just wasn't paying
Yeah, their
attention.
album Four is their final album as a fivesome.
That's really confusing because I thought four
It's,
was because they were, four now.
no, just because it was their fourth album, and it's their best album in my opinion.
Well, isn't it at the same time Beyonce came out with four? There was like multiple albums named four.
Probably.
Because I forgot when four came out for Beyonce. Wasn't that like 20? I'm gonna need Google.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm gonna need Google. Hold on, I got you.
Yeah, go ahead and Google. But yeah, this album for One Direction, I think it's their best album. It has smash hits like Fireproof and Where Do Broken Hearts Go, which is the
Girl,
best One Direction song of all time.
I am like so bad with my time. Four came out in 2011.
Oh, Homegirl was long gone.
Yeah.
Long gone.
Just long, yeah. Well, by the time, 2014 was when she came out with her self-titled Beyonce. So sorry.
Yes, yes.
Sorry.
You are right about that.
Yeah. Anyway.
I'm just trying to like quick.
Yeah, I'm just doing my like connections in time and space. Like where was I in time when that came out? And I was up in Beyonce's tit with the South album trying to get.
I mean, I was too, but I was also in here. I was mostly in here. I
quickly
flipped over to Beyonce, then came back here.
I was in, yeah. I mean, Tidal sucked and Apple Music was very selective. So anyway, moving on. We are not off topic.
But the Four album, if you're gonna listen to any One Direction album, I think it's this one.
Okay.
Stockholm Syndrome is on this album, which is like a great song.
Right.
Clouds, like, just this is a really good. This is the shit's fucking solid, and I think it's actually good music. I don't think it's like shitty.
Right.
Like, I think it's like actually good.
Like you're not bandwagoning. You think it's actually good objectively.
I do.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
Then in 2015, this is the last year of One Direction.
Yes.
This is where we're coming to a close.
Yes.
One Direction goes on the road again tour to tour for this tour grossed $208 million. They played stadiums. I think it had like 90 something shows. They toured all over the world. And they started this tour as a group of five. It did not end as a group of five though.
Nope, it did not.
Because on March 25th, 2015, Zayn left One Direction.
Damn.
I remember where I was. I remember how I felt. I remember my whole world came crashing down. I was in art class, and it was the only class I had that day where I had none of my friends in my class. And I had to find out over Facebook that Zayn was leaving One Direction, and I had a mental fucking breakdown. I had to go to the bathroom and cry. I came back to the art class, and my teacher was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No."
No.
And he goes, "Okay."
It's amazing how different our lives were in that day, because I know where I was, and I was dramatic, but not for those reasons.
Just for other reasons?
Other reasons that you know about that I'm tired of explaining.
Oh, right. We won't go there. We won't go there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that whole year I was an emotional wreck. And quite a psychological wreck as well. But it's amazing how like different, lives are. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Wow.
And this was March 25th was also one of my friend's birthdays. Like, I'm not friends with this person anymore, but when we were friends, this was her birthday.
Yeah.
And so it was like her birthday, but like all of my friends were like not in school that day. They were like on some like club trip or something. So I was in school alone that day. I had to do this shit alone.
Let me see. Wait, let me pull up a 2015 calendar because I could probably tell you that day when I was doing. Hold on.
It was horrible. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna say, um, I'm gonna finish up 2015.
Right.
In November 2015, the four of them, sans Zayn, released their last album, Made in the AM.
Mhm.
Also a really great album, probably number 2 to 4,
Mhm.
maybe number 3.
Mhm.
It's very good. It was the 6th best-selling album of that year.
Mhm.
It had the songs like History and Drag Me Down, we all
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
Um, and then in December 2015, One Direction performed as a foursome, obviously not a fivesome. They
Mhm.
performed on X Factor
Mhm.
for the last time. Their last performance was on X Factor.
Mhm.
So it all became full
Full
circle.
circle.
Started on X Factor, we ended
Yeah.
at X Factor,
Yep.
and they sang the song History, which is like a big song for the fans. It was like a song for the fans that they
Yeah.
made.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
And it was very sweet.
Wow.
Um, and that was the end. I mean, I have more accomplishments, but you can say what day of the week was March 25th,
That was a
2015?
Wednesday.
I was
Um.
gonna say Wednesday, but I didn't want to be wrong.
No,
That's
that was.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. That was a Wednesday. That was a Wednesday, and that year, God, what a year that was. Jesus, I like how we both were extremely volatile and emotional
For
during
different
that
reasons.
for completely different reasons. Yeah.
Um, okay. So I have so many other notes, but I'll just go through some of their accomplishments because I
Mhm.
feel like One Direction broke a lot of records and did a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to share some. Um, One Direction was the first group to debut at number 1 with their first 4 albums
Mhm.
ever.
That's crazy.
The first UK group to debut at number 1 in the US
Mhm.
ever,
That's
including the
crazy.
Beatles.
Yeah.
The highest debut by a UK group on US singles charts. They had the most followers on Twitter for a music group, most YouTube subscribers for a band. In 2015, they broke the Guinness Book of World Records to be the first act to debut at number 1 with their first 3 albums.
Mm.
And at the time, their song "Drag Me Down" broke the Spotify one-day streaming record.
I can't even and they're only like 20
In their early 20s.
and they're only I can't even like
Louis was the oldest,
yeah.
and Harry was the youngest.
But to
But
deal with
yeah,
all that in your like early 20, I can't even.
and they were thrown into it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like you can't be surprised when bands like this break up because
Mhm.
they wanted to be solo artists in the beginning. That's what
Yeah.
they auditioned for, and then
Yeah.
you forced them to continue as a band.
Mhm.
So eventually, there's going to come a point where they get tired of it
Yeah.
and want to do their own thing, which they
Right.
all did, and they're
Right.
all successful in their own way.
Not to discriminate.
um, 3 out of 5 of them now have children.
Yes.
Harry and Niall are, thank God, they don't have kids.
Loco solo. Yeah.
Thank God.
Solo loco. Yeah.
And I have some fandom inside jokes written down, and I just need you to hear how the nonsense.
Okay.
Okay. So anyone who's a One Direction fan listening or watching will know exactly what I'm talking about when I say
Okay.
these random fucking words I'm about to say.
Okay.
You're gonna have
No
nothing is
clue.
going to come to mind.
Mhm.
The word carrots. Does that mean anything to you?
Nothing.
No.
Mm-mm.
Good. Good. In the X Factor video diaries, Louis said that he likes girls who eat carrots, and then it became a joke. And then they were like, "Oh well, now everyone's gonna send you carrots in the mail." And then Harry was like, "I like girls that like Lamborghinis, so that people will send him Lamborghinis in the mail."
There you go. See, that's turning a negative into a positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Spoons, because
No.
Liam had a fear of spoons. Liam was afraid of spoons and never used spoons. Would only use a fork. I don't know if that was real or a joke, but it
I'm telling
became.
you, like, how are you eating soup, bro?
I don't think he eats soup. He said fuck soup.
He said, "Fuck soup." Oh God.
Kevin.
Mhm. No.
Kevin was a plastic pigeon that they had in the back of in their all their videos, and they named the pigeon Kevin.
Good name, solid name.
Yeah. There are so many. The only one I'm gonna mention is that there was a YouTube show called The Adventurous Adventures of One Direction.
Mhm.
I don't know if you watched it, but it was this guy that made an animated show of One Direction as superheroes,
Mhm.
and it was like a huge thing in the fandom. It was very, very funny.
Mhm.
I go back and watch it at least once a year because it's iconic. But there are so many stupid inside jokes. Simple but effective is
Mhm.
another really good one. No, Jimmy protested. I could go on. Like this is like so sad. Um, have you ever heard Harry say, "This is a family show," or is it? I don't know if you've ever heard him say that.
Yeah, well, he said that at concert several times.
That started in One Direction
Wow.
because he said that at a One Direction concert, and then it became a thing, and now he keeps doing
Wow.
it.
Now he just keeps doing it.
Yeah, there are a lot,
Mm.
but that's all.
Wow. So what did we learn?
In conclusion, what did I learn? I learned that I love One Direction.
I learned that I don't even know what I learned. I learned that people can get swindled and they don't even know it. You know, like I just can't get over the fact that like their original record deal was $2 million. Like that's nothing. And then,
Yeah, and they worked like dogs. They
and
worked
they worked
nonstop
like
for 6 years.
dogs. Yeah, and it's really sad because these boys were so young. They were so young and so like full of life, and they wanted to be solo artists, but they were, I mean, obviously they were put together, but they chose to beat each other too. Like I think they were excited about it at the time, but
Yeah, I think all of them were excited about it.
yeah,
I don't think any of them knew what was
yeah.
for them. It was
This taught
there's this
me.
really I think it was in the Up All Night movie.
Mhm.
No, This Is Us. There was some like behind the scenes thing of them all
Mhm.
at I think it was like Harry's mom's house.
Oh, okay.
And they were all like getting together and like getting to know each other
Mhm.
because they didn't really know each other when they became a
Yeah.
band.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like such a sweet like moment. They're like sitting around a fire and like drinking tea because they're fucking British.
Right. Right.
And they're all like talking about their families, and it's really kind of sweet to think of them as like these five, teenagers slash kids in their
Yeah,
early 20s
because
that don't know each other at all, and like they're
yeah.
together, like because they were all actually friends. Like I don't think any of them hate each other
No.
now. Obviously not because Harry just thanked them at the Brit Awards.
Girl, all four of them.
That like did something to me. I don't think you understand. I saw that video. I was out in public when I saw that. I was out in public at a restaurant. I saw the video. I dramatically dropped my phone. I went, oh!
My God.
And my mom goes, what? I was like, Harry thanked One Direction.
Oh my God.
Nothing. Like, when
Oh
I
my
first
God.
became a fan of One Direction, my parents are like, you're going to hate them in 6 months. Like, we're not buying tickets for you. We're not buying you t-shirts. We're not doing any of that. And I am still here. Still here.
Girl.
11 years later,
Jeez.
12 years later,
Yeah.
12 years later, I am still here with my fucking t-shirt on.
Yeah.
So suck it, Dad.
Except for you, Dad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know why I love One Direction so much? Because I found One Direction when my parents were getting divorced.
You know what? That could be a great explanation why we're here today. That is a great. Thank you guys for getting divorced. So.
You know what I learned? I learned that One Direction filled the void of my parents getting divorced. That's what I just learned just now.
What did Sandra Bullock fill the void of? I don't even really know.
Depression.
Not having two parents in the household, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was just the other parent that I just,
That you never knew you wanted.
You never knew I wanted, and I did that to myself. Anyway,
yeah.
But
anyway, guys.
Yes, I learned that you need to really look at your contracts before you sign them, and kids are kids, and they should have childhoods. And what makes you beautiful? If I never hear it again, I will not be happy or sad, because I've heard it so. I was a radio listener, so it was on the radio every 5 minutes. When I tell you every 5 minutes.
Too much is never enough.
I think that is untrue. I think too much is
and
that,
too much. I hate to say this right now, but that's a One Direction lyric. Too much is never enough. We're tying it in. I really want to play that game where you put all their music on shuffle and see how quickly I can name all the songs. We'll do that another day.
You know, we still have to do the episode on what to find out what attachment style we both are. Don't think.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So this will come up. This will come up in that.
I think I'm avoidant, which is not good. Anyway,
I think I'm like dissociative. I don't really know. I don't know.
Stay tuned to find out what our attachment styles are.
But thank you guys
for listening to me be crazy.
Yeah, thank you for, watching and being, and listening and, coming on this ride with us. Thank you for indulging us in our obsessions. Yes. We had to do it, we had to dedicate,
We had to give these people their moment.
Their moment, to shine.
They deserve it.
They were staples in our childhoods. We had to give it to them,
I should link my One Direction playlist in our link tree. Too much?
We're gonna have by the end, by the 3 months go by, we're gonna have 40 things on our link tree.
So I'll just link it on our Instagram story.
We're gonna literally.
Link tree is too much.
She's too much.
Anyway.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Yes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram at Off Topic with Reva or Katie and Reva. I don't even know who's which.
That one. The second one. The second one.
I got it. I was like, I got that one. Yeah. So rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Give us a 5-star in the what is it called? The acceptance that we want, that we crave.
Yeah. Do it for One Direction.
Do it for One Direction. Do it for Miss Sandy B. Do it for Angelina Jolie. Do it for anyone that we have ever talked about. And we'll see you next week for some other bullshit. So.
As usual.
So.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.